So in the sequence, we come to the side of the person, and we're going to be reaching across the spine. And we're going to place the palm of our hand between the spine and the vertebral border of the scapula. And stay stationary. And this other hand is the more active hand. As we lean in, letting our body weight sink in. We have nice extension in our arms. And if you like, rock up on your knees, get your feet off the mat. This allows the pressure to go in, this perpendicular pressure a little bit more cleaner. A little cleaner. Pressure a little bit. And we're going to take the compressions down onto the sacrum. So this intention is to not only open the bladder channel and loosen the musculature, but to create openness with the compression, either away from the spine or here. We're going to compress so we stretch and open up the lower back of our compression. So we do that a couple times. Feels good. For me too. Quite nice to do. I'm leaning in on the exhale. Now, this is where I've changed a few things. So, after we reach across and compress here, since we're on this side already, I'd like you to take your thumbs and we're going to just lean right into the lateral border of longissimus. So, we'll do that through palpation. So, here's the spine and the most obvious big long muscle, one of the erectors on the back, longissimus. And I'm coming into the lateral border just with thumb over thumb pressure. So we're addressing that portion of the bladder ring. It's a really nice way of getting at the border from the side. And again, pressure looking. Pressure comes from nice clean lines, leaning in with your body weight. Yeah, great.
And that's the outer
The outer
strain
bladder
of,
meridian.
outer bladder meridian.
So now we're going to step across like this. Now we're going to loosen the scapula and do some compression here. One thing I look at is how my body comes in relationship to the person I'm working on, so I really try to keep, my hara over the area that I'm working on. It gives me more freedom and fluidity to hopefully connect better through the work if I have a nice open stance. So my intention here is to start to loosen up the back of the scapula so that I can allow it to mobilize a little freer perhaps and stretch some of the meridians that come through it. So I'm just doing some nice general compression both around and onto the scapula. Anything that really you feel creates a little bit more space and an environment for the scapula to rotate a little bit. So here we're going to do a little mobilization. So again, in this mobilization, our arm is nice and extended so that it just acts as a nice medium between your body shifting back and their body coming up. And the fingers curl around the head of the humerus, not digging them in, but more like a flat shelf so you don't dig into their muscles. And I'm going to put my fingertips up against the vertebral border of the scapula and then just lean back. And your fingertips are just right on the inside of the vertebral border of the scapula. And it's a lovely way of mobilizing using your body weight. And you can see how that lever action comes right through my straight arm. My body weight shifting back. Okay? And then I'm going to switch hands. And as I mobilize the scapula, I'm going to press down on the lower vertebrae onto the sacrum. Okay?
So there you're on top of the sacrum, you know?
Yeah, same like when we were compressing, but where you start compressing is below the inferior angle of the scapula. If you're too high, you're going to retard the movement of the shoulder girdle. So you want to make sure you're down. This is usually around T7, T8, but distal to the angle, and just lateral of the spine. So you're not pressing on the spine. You're opening up the musculature around the spine. So as you twist in, it's just a twisting move. And then right onto sacrum. And then this last bit before you change sides, we're going to do both sides. I'll demo one side, and then she can get work on the other. After that, I put the arm in this position so I can come over. And we're going to finish this side with a little elbow work. So the bladder meridian has two parallel lines that run on either side of the spine before they branch off into the hip and down through the lower torso. The outer one we addressed on the outside of the longissimus. This inner one is just lateral of the spine, in and around the lamina groove. So this inner meridian, which actually affects all the organs in the body, because for one reason it's close proximity to the central nervous system and the nerve bundles. So it's very active for all the different organs in the body. So we're going to take our elbow and just sink right in the lamina groove. So I'm sinking in that little groove just lateral of the spine. And I'm letting my elbow wander a little bit towards the spine. My body here is nice and open, so I'm not pushing, but I can just comfortably lean into the body. Pressure's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to take that all the way down. So you notice how easy this is. I'm not forcing. I'm placing my elbow. I'm just basically raising my hand. That's all you need to do. The pressure is adequate. Just doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. So a nice routine for loosening, and then we would just repeat on the other side. That's part 2. So.